Good evening, everyone. We have an exciting class tonight. We've got some fun stuff. Got 3 projects for you. The host code that we're using is a new host code, S2ZKF3NN2. That is my website if you want to order anything from me. If you use this host code, I put you in for a drawing. If you order something that's above 150, don't worry about the host code. You still get your host rewards, and I still put you in for the drawing for free prizes. All right. Hoping the comments come through. Make sure everything's good. All right. Now, specials. So we have a special release for Designer Series paper. It's in the online exclusive. There are 5 new really cool papers to look at. I've ordered them all. I don't have them yet. So hopefully when I get those, I can show those to you. Of course, our new catalog, our September to December catalog is available. I have my sister in my craft room, and we've been crafting all day, and I have some exciting samples to show you. So not only are we going to make our 3 projects today, but we're also going to look at some of the cute stuff we've been making all day long. And maybe even a sneak peek for next week's class. So there is a new Christmas Everywhere kit. I posted on the page if you're interested in that. That's anytime you can order that until it's not available anymore. That is item number 162122. And it's $21, but you get a whole kit, stamps, and cute trees. And kind of fun to make Christmas cards without having to think and design your own, and just get a few done. The World Card Making Day is October 7th. I already have a prior engagement, but you can register as a demonstrator for World Card Making Day, and there will be about a 3-hour videos and things that you can watch and make cards with. I will share a link when it comes closer to customers who want to participate in this. All right, so I'm going to show you samples now of things that were made. One was made, my sister really enjoyed using the, it's the one with the bear. I forget what it's called, but it's very cute. The Berry Christmas. Sweet. So she made a whole bunch with those, and even a scrapbook page. So I'm going to show you those. All right. Hi, Karen. It didn't look like you at first, and I realized it's Bryce with sunglasses. So, Robin, if you want to hand me some of your samples. This is one sample she did with that. With that set. There is that one. Isn't that cute? Aren't they cute with all the blues? And then I have to back up to show you this gorgeous scrapbook page. Isn't that cute? Christmas together is better. And then, let's see. And then there's this one. This one looks like a little more along Karen's line with the green. And then this one where she used some of the pre-made cards and put the 2 little polar bears there and that cool shiny ribbon. And then another pre-made card, one of the pre-made cards where she put some designer paper, put some ribbon, and then this cute little polar bear put in the star on top of the tree with the little bunny. Can you see the little bunny who's putting the star on the tree? It's cute. So cute. So she made all those from the berry set. My dog is a little upset that we're not paying attention to him, and he's tearing up the hassock, as he usually does. And then Robin made this really cute Halloween one with a skeleton and the cat. Isn't that cute? Love it. All right. Oh, sorry. And then she made some for me so that I could keep some. All right. Now we're going to look at our catalog, and I'll show you what we're going to be using tonight. We're going to be making 2 Christmas and 1 Halloweenish kind of, but I'll show you a way to make the Christmas version of it too. So we are finally getting to open our mini catalog from September to December 2023. Woohoo! So on the Berry Christmas page, we're actually going to be using this Snowflake 3D embossing folder. Okay.
Love it.
My sister loves it. We are going to be using on page 29 this really cool black and very vanilla ribbon. We are going to be using the 12 by 12 Joy of Christmas paper here, and I think Karen has this set. This sweet. We're going to be using the Wishes All Around stamp set and dies. Very pretty, and that's on page 35. And on page 37, we are going to be using the Magical Meadow, the Winter Meadow Suite, the Magical Meadow Bundle, the Faceted Trio Pack, the silver and white sheer ribbon, in this beautiful Winter Meadow paper. My dog is losing it. I know you have wishes all around too, right? We're going to use that. And then on page 43, we're also going to be using this Distressed Tiled 3D embossing folder. It's really cool. All right. And then we are going to be using, we're going to be using a lot, the Tricks and Treat bundle, and mostly the dies from that. Okay. And that's on page 50. And last but not least, those wonderful deckled circle dies on page 63. Look at all those different dies. Those are must-have. Yeah, you're going to order that leaf set next time? Okay. Maybe I'll do more with that one. All right. And now, from our annual catalog. Look at all this. Now you know where everything is coming from. We're going to be using our cardstock vellum. That's on page 126. Again, a must-have for your collection. We are also going to be using the More Dazzle 6x6 paper. That's on page 127. We are going to be using one of my favorite embellishments. We used it on the truck. Yeah, we're using this one, which is the adhesive back sparkle gems, and that comes in champagne black and white. They're just gorgeous. If I had to lose all these, which I would cry, but this would be the one I wouldn't want to lose. If I had to pick just one, it would be to keep that one, because I love that one. And then we're going to be using, again, this very beautiful gold and vanilla 3/8-inch satin ribbon. It's very pretty. Okay, now let's get to making the first project. Took me a little time to think about, because it was a little bit different, and I wanted to break up the paper some. This is using that wonderful Magical Meadow bundle, or the Winter Meadow Suite, and we're using the not so usual Christmas colors. So we're going to start with that. I did use Moody Mauve as a base, so I cut it. I scored it at 4 1/4, cut it at 5 1/2, so it's what we call a hamburger fold or landscape fold, depending on what you think about. I think about hamburgers. Then I took boho blue, and you know they go great together because they're in colors. And so going to take a piece of boho blue that was cut down to 4 by 5 1/4. we're going to run it through that embossing folder that was with the fall stuff. You can mix and match your embossing folders. You can mix and match your embellishments. Use dyes on things that are not the same. We'll do that later, not the same season. You can play with whatever you have. And my dog is mad because I'm talking about playing, and it's not with him.
Doggy.
So I'm going to take you over to the Stampin' Boss cut machine. I don't know if you can hear Augie or not, but it's quite funny, and hence I can't have any nice furniture.
Definitely destroying furniture.
It's almost like when they bed down, that's what he's doing, but it's like a lot tonight. And I don't know if he's really taking it out on me or not. All right, and so then watch what happens when we take that out and see how beautiful that is. And this is a 3D one. And see how it's like distressed in certain areas? It's supposed to look like that. Isn't that pretty though? That would be pretty in red and green if you wanted to do a red and green, red or green. So I'll take you back to here. And we're not going to put this down yet because we're going to be using some really pretty ribbon. And so we're going to need to wrap our ribbon around that piece. Next thing we do is take this gorgeous watercolored paper, and I took my favorite sheet and I cut it into pieces. And I did not cut this one right, but I had to show you how to cut it anyway. So you want to cut it to 3 3/4 by 5, because that's 1/4 of an inch, right? Different than the last layer you just did with the boho blue. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and this edge, and we're going to cut a 1-inch strip here. Okay. And then we're going to take this and move it 1 inch. Right. And then this one, it's going to be about 1 1/4. I decided to take a little more off. And that way you get to see more of that blue. Okay, so it goes 1 1 1 1/4. Okay. Everyone get that? Understand it? Tina, you're watching my class. Haven't seen you forever. I hear you're a Mary Kay girl now. And so now we're going to take our pieces and we're going to put them on that beautifully embossed paper, that boho blue. And we're going to put that there. Depending on COVID restrictions, things like that, I probably will have a winter class in my home in October for Christmas cards, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's most likely. And so we're going to glue them on there. And see how splitting up the paper makes it a little more interesting. There's all kinds of noises in my house tonight. It's pretty funny. But I don't think you can hear the noises that are going on right now. So I'm just going to put that on with just some adhesive. And then the other side is this gorgeous watercolor blue. And then we're going to do this. And isn't that just pretty? Yep. Yeah, that wasn't Augie thumping around this time. That was someone else thumping around. Karen said she could hear Augie thumping around. I'm like, that wasn't Augie thumping. That's a Zay thump. All right, and then I took our deckled edge, right? So I cut one out of the big. Now it is Augie thumping around. So we have two
You got all sorts of thumping.
kind of kids running around crazy. You think after swimming in the pool and everything else they would settle down, but no, they don't. And so I did one in vellum and a smaller one in white. Now he's on my couch, destroying my couch. I gotta do it. Robin's very holding it in because she's wondering, taking some deep breaths because she's wondering why I'm allowing that to happen, because I don't think she would. All right, and so that's boho blue. Isn't that pretty how that's written, Winter Wishes? And so, you know, in case you have can you text Dave to come up and take care of the dog? And we'll glue these together. Sorry. How come it's only on Saturday nights when I'm doing a video? All right. And see how cute that is? All right. Then we're going to put this here. I need to have a soundproof room and a dog watcher when I make these videos.
It wasn't him, just so you know. The look he gave me was like, what?
Oh, Robin went down to scold Augie, and Augie looked at her like, what? It wasn't me. But there was no one else down there. All right, and isn't that pretty so far? And see how that extra layer of vellum just adds so much. Okay, now to save you some time, well, I'll show you. I took these beautiful, yeah, he is just like a kid. He's like, Mommy's not paying attention to me. I'm going to wrap this really, isn't that gorgeous ribbon? Right around like that. Put some adhesive on here. Adhesive on here. Got that. Cute, cute. All right. Next, we will mount that on our Moody Mauve. Aren't these great colors? I love these colors. Mount that on there. When you layer more colors, the better it looks. So rather than just putting this on boho, layering it on mauve, makes it look better. And then I'm going to show you a trick of how to make your stamps color more than one color. All right, so if you take your Stampin' Right markers, and I took Garden Green and Moody Mauve, and we're going to take this stamp here, and we're going to take a scrap of white paper, which I didn't allow myself to have. That should be good. So a scrap of your basic white paper, and you're going to take your stamp and you're going to color it in. And then we're going to color it in with a Moody Mauve just down the center for the veining. And if you look on the paper, they do that when they're coloring the paper on the Designer Series paper. Put the Moody Mauve right down the center like that. It is much better to have a lively house than be in a quiet house with no one around, I think. I don't think anyone minds the noises too much. It's kind of funny. And we're going to color those leaves in with the Garden Green. You want to get right up against that Moody Mauve. Yeah. I don't know why but it seems like every door in the house has to be closed right now, too, because, well, otherwise Augie will get into it, and then he'll make a mess of those rooms, right? And so then we color this in. And that's fun to color. That's not too much work. And it can go quicker if you want to be sloppier. And this is kind of imperfect and watercolored, so you can be sloppy with it. I just don't want to get too much Moody Mauve on my green because then I'll turn it to like brown. All right, my stamp is now colored. And then I'm going to huff on it. Provide some moisture from my hot breath. And then we stamp it. And then you get this really cool veining that's a different color. This is supposed to look like this with the missing white, you know, there to make it look watercolor. So that's how you would do that. And then what I did to save time is I've already cut that out. And then I stamped this in shaded spruce and cut that out. And then I cut this one out with a die and shaded spruce cardstock. Oh no, Pretty Peacock cardstock. And then I just want to show you the rest of the set because there's all different kinds of different floral things you could pick from. There's even like imprinting of snowflakes you could put on your card. There's berries and leaves. And this one, which we didn't use, and those, which mirror the stamps. So a lot of different choices here and different sayings for choices. Life is funny. So then I think the easiest thing to do is grab some glue dots and put these on with glue dots, right? And this set is really cool. Oh, maybe I don't have a glue. Maybe it got left on the sheet. And then we'll pull another one up and grab that. And now remember the glue dots come in a nice roll. Those are just leftover glue dots I have from my paper pumpkin. Okay. And then the next one I'm going to put down is this one, which kind of looks like eucalyptus probably, right? And pick it up. And then we're going to tuck it in under there. Maybe a little bit different than our other card, right? It's okay, different is good. And then we're going to take this piece. Sorry about jiggling.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. My sister's still creating and crafting over there, and so, you know, the big shot uses a little effort, right? And so sometimes it jiggles. It jiggles my table when I use it when I show you guys. But that's okay. As long as you're not getting seasick. And can you even see what I'm doing? Am I off the... There we go. If you ever see that I'm off, say you're off camera. All right. So now, last few touches. We're going to put a beautiful bow on this one. But whenever I don't know what to do with a pretty designer paper, I say, well, does it need something to hold the background of the floral? Because if you just put the floral on here, it wouldn't look right. You needed a circle or something to kind of lay it on. Sometimes you could use a square or circle or some kind of shape to give it some, what I call formatting. Because otherwise then it will look just white on white, floral on floral, and then you wouldn't be able to really, your eye wouldn't like it too much. And then there's our pretty bow. And then wait till you get a load of these. Like those. Still with me, Karen? my crazy house hasn't made you leave. And so look at how pretty these are. So I kind of put one like there. And we'll put this one kind of down here. And we'll put a darker one up here. Oh, she's still present and accounted for. She gets an A+ for attendance. You met her attendance requirements.
Who, me?
No, Karen.
Oh.
All right, and so that is card number 1. All right, let's put that stuff away. Boom, boom, boom. Phew, got through it. I don't want to jinx myself, but things are looking up right now.
Great. I had to say that.
Oh, things are looking up. All right, now. Oh, phew that you met your attendance. That's funny. Yeah. Sometimes you don't know when the comments are coming through, that they come in a little bit later. All right. We had a beautiful day. It was a beautiful day. Of course, Xavier and the dog went swimming together. We went to look for some housing for someone I know. And then we had lunch at Goodfellows, and my sister's never been there, so that's really cool. So this is our next card. This uses our Wishes All Around set here and the dies, and we're using that beautiful Christmas greetings. The dies are awesome. I actually cut some extra. This isn't one of the stamps, but I kept it in case I wanted that for a stamp. And these wreaths, you can cut out the stamped trees, and they have other trees that you can layer with them. Cut out the holly kind of wreath, or even the snowflake wreath, and I cut that out so you could see it. All right. And that's the snowflake one. Isn't that one pretty too? I cut it out with that dazzle paper. Okay. So let's start our card. I went back. It's been a little while since I used Cherry Cobbler. Cherry Cobbler, that beautiful red. I think Karen likes this red. This nice, deep, dark red. It's a great Christmas red. And I scored that at 5.5 and cut at 4.25. Okay. So we have that as our base. Next, I took a piece of basic white. Yes. I know you love Cherry Cobbler. I'm going to back you up just a little bit. And we're going to use that embossing folder that goes with the Berry Christmas Suite. And it has these gorgeous snowflakes with little snowflakes. And we're going to put that in there. And it is a 3D embossing folder. And it graduates down, so there's more snow at the bottom than there is at the top. And so I'm going to go back to the Stampin' Bus cut machine right there. I'm going to run that through. But you could use a lot of different embossing folders because you're only going to see the edge of this on your card. But when you see it, it's really pretty. I love it. But I love snowflakes. So see how it's more concentrated down here. And as you go up, but you still have those bigger snowflakes. I think it's pretty. All right, so before we put that down, we are going to take a pretty piece of this designer series paper, the one with the notes on the other side. This is gorgeous. It's hard to use this paper because I love this side of the paper. So you can do that, but then green on green makes it look a little... So it's a perfect background for a wreath, a nice brown color. All right, so I use that. And I'm going to put some adhesive on that. And we're going to cover up most of that beautiful embossing we just did, which is good as said. All right, and now we can use that Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ribbon. Look at that beautiful ribbon. This is just a gorgeous ribbon. It's so pretty, so classy. And we're going to tie that around. Put that down. Same way as usual. And just there, like, just starting to make a background. You could put Santa there. You could put anything there, right? It doesn't have to be a wreath. Polar bear. You could put one of those classic Santas that's in the catalog with that one classic Santa set. You could put a big snowflake there, a Christmas tree. You have all kinds of options. But what I did is I loved this dazzle paper. So in the background, I took that one that cut out the holly, and I cut it out with a dazzle. Now, when I did the dazzle paper, it's much thicker paper, and it has these discs, so you want to run it back and forth twice, okay? That's what I needed to do to make that stick, okay? So I'm going to lay that down first, and make sure you poke out that you have all your little pieces out that are supposed to come out. Okay. And see, that's the other side. You could have done white, but I did dazzle because it's more dazzle. And that's a great paper to have because it adds accents to all kinds of stuff. And you can put this on with anything, but I preferred a little glue for the base one. And the second one, we'll do the same. So I'm using some Tombow glue. Beautiful. My sister's working on Halloween cards.
I am. I'm gonna stand still.
Oh, you can use your embossing. So there we go there. The next part, I'm going to set this aside, believe it or not. And the next part is I'm going to take this cut out of Old Olive. Old Olive and Cherry Cobbler go great together. And then I'm going to be taking the pearlized enamel effects, and we're going to be making our little dots on here. So don't waste embellishments. Just use this, and you pull up, right, after each one. And if you feel like they made a dot and not a circle, you just tap next to them and they form a nice circle. Must be the properties of them that make them want to stay in a circle. And you could use white if you wanted white, not red. You could use silver, gold. You can make it anything you want because we have all those colors. Isn't that great? I wouldn't suggest black on this, but there's black too. There's gold and white and silver. Whatever you want. Isn't that cool? I'm going to put you a little closer so you can see how cool this is. Right? So you just pick out these berries and you put a little, and see how they start to look like Hershey Kisses a little? And then you just tap, and then the vibration's going to put them into a better circle. So cute. Love this wreath. And then you're going to put this aside to dry, because this does take about an hour of drying time. Not that much, okay? But you're going to put that aside to dry. And we'll move that over here. And by the magic of TV or YouTube, we have one that's already dried, and see how cool that is with the little berries. It looks so cool. And so now we're going to add that make sure that's dry and doesn't get on your card. To our card. Just like that. Okay. Now you could leave it just like that, but I'm good. Next step, we're going to do our sentiment. And you can use whatever sentiment you want. I'm a big Merry Christmas girl. I like Merry Christmas. Because that's what it's all about. So then we just lay that on top there. I like to have it, sew it basically, doesn't directly overlay it over, but it shows a lot more than if it's a little bit off. Yeah, like that. Isn't that pretty? So you could just keep it like that and put your little bow on. But then what I did is I took a piece of vellum and we are going to use our embossing buddy for our vellum. I think that's what my sister might need. Do you need that?
What?
Versamark and embossing?
Well, there, but no.
Okay.
Yeah. That's okay.
And then we're going to do Christmas greetings. And we're going to just stamp that on our vellum. And then we're going to take our gold embossing powder. And I keep mine in containers. I'm going to pull you back. No, not a new ring. I got that a while ago when Periwinkles was having a sale. I love it when Periwinkles has a sale, don't you? Yeah, a small little piece. It's pretty. It's fun. It's purple. And then that's not going to matter much because we're going to cut away. So I'm going to fussy cut the greeting, but you can cut it out or with your cutter, or you can actually cut it out with a die cut. But I'm going to fussy cut mine because I think Karen likes fussy cutting, right? And then we're going to heat this. Thank you. It's even more pretty when we find good deals on our jewelry, right? That's why I offer alternatives, right? As far as fussy cutting or using dies or cutting it with your cutter. So you could easily cut that with your cutter. Isn't that pretty? But I'm going to fussy cut it. So that's what I do. And to fussy cut, keep your scissors in the same direction and you kind of wiggle around your words. And they don't have to be exact. You just don't want any sharp changes, especially with a vellum, because then that makes it look a little more harsh. Just take smooth cuts. I'm not going around each letter, just in the general direction of how the cursive flows. And how did I hear that? Just with glue, I think. All right. And now this is where you want to pay attention to how you glue down your vellum because you don't want spots to show. All right. Now we're going to take this piece, put it right there. Right there. Okay. And so I'm only going to put a glue dot here and a glue dot here, one that goes over the wreath. There we go there. Isn't that pretty? So there's that. And you can leave it just like that. We're going to add a little more. just to show you there's all kinds of stuff you can do. I'm gonna tie a little bow, and I might have cut this too short. Probably cut it too short. I did. Let's see if we can make it work. I think I cut it too short. All right, instead of trying to make it work, I am going to cut another piece longer. Isn't this ribbon just so pretty? Sounds like the rain's coming. Yeah. Is anyone else getting rain? Sounds like it's coming down. Again, you can make these longer. It's because I'm on film. This didn't happen when I was making the card, of course. I made a much longer bow. Hi, Erin. Long time no see. We're making a Christmas card. Isn't that pretty? And then, now we're going to use some leftovers from, remember when we made that card where we cut out all these white trees from the from that die? So I'm going to use some of those trees on this card now. You can hear my rain. That's funny. And you are not, you're just a few miles from me. Huh. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of those glue dots on the back of these little trees. I thought it was cute. You don't have to add these, but I thought it added something. You know, thought they were cute. I think I'm leaving my glue dots behind. I thought they were really cute on here. So not only does that die cut out a great background, it makes little trees that you can add as confetti or different designs to your cards. And I thought it pulled in that white background again. And then there is Christmas card number 2. All right, so that's card number 2. Ready for card, or project number 3, I should say, because the third one is not a card. It is a cute little treat bag for Halloween, but if you don't want to do a Halloween one, you can always do a Christmas one. And so I did a little treat bag. It's done differently. I made handles on it, and I'll show you how to make them both ways. Makes handles, and I made that little polar bear out of that same set Robin was using, so I thought it was pretty cute with those sequins. All right, so this is the one we're making though tonight, with that gorgeous ribbon, that vanilla and black ribbon. All right, so this set is the Tricks and Treats set, and it has an awesome die set with it where you can make bags, and all you need to do is whatever paper you want to make it out of, you cut 2 of those. If you want an edged top, use this die after you cut, and it'll cut an edge on the top of your bag. And then you have all these fun accessories to play with. We're going to be using the ghost. I cut that out in white. We're going to be using the boo. We're going to be making a piece of candy corn, and this is how you would make it. You cut out one piece for your middle color and whatever you want, their bottom color, and then your top color like that, and then you glue them together. There's tons of tags, different things, and then there are, this is sticky. There are holes to cut out in your bags. There's things that will cut out the stamp set. And the stamp set is quite sticky, apparently. It's stuck to my adhesive sheet. And there's a haunted house, bats, tombstones. There's faces for your Frankenstein. So you could stamp this in green and then stamp this black over it. There's a little ghost there. There's Trick or Treat, which I used on a different project. There's the hair for your Dracula, the face for your Dracula there. You know, you can, all kinds of stuff that you can play with. All right. So let's get to our project. And so I used that piece to cut out 2 of these. Okay. Now, if you want to have a little one like this, where you have 2 handles, all you would do is take this and you would take your dots and you would run it through your Big Shot like that. But I wanted mine to match so that I could feed it through here and close it. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so I cut this from the paper. Oh, I didn't show you where that paper was. It's in the September, December catalog, right? And we're gonna use, look at the other side, how cute is that, with a little doggy and the kitty. But we're going to use our tear and tape. And it's real easy. This is a real easy way to make treat boxes. So if you just want a die set that makes treat boxes or makes cute candy corn or little ghosts, this is your die set that you want. And you're just going to fold all your edges. Now, this edge you're always going to want inside. Okay, so that edge always goes inside. And now we're going to get our tear and tape. And tear and tape is just that. Tear and tape. It's tape. It's tape that tears. You can hear my assistant in the background. She's more than my assistant.
Ow.
I did not hit her in any way. That ow was not because I did anything. Okay. And so you're gonna, so you want 1 on the thin strip there, 1 on this thin strip here, okay? And then you're gonna put 1 here. Like that. 1 here, like that. And then on 1 of these, you're gonna put a strip. And this is the easiest treat bag you've ever made. Right? And so you can do this with any paper if you have that die. Any paper at all. If it's someone's birthday, do birthday paper. Right? So you're going to take these off. Right? And I'm going to take this off. And if they're not coming off easy like these are, you can burnish them with a bone folder. Right? Okay. So now you're going to line up the big side with the little side, right? Line up big side with little side. And you could use either side of the paper. Obviously, you can use any paper you want. All right. And that's going to be my sticky side. So so the smaller pieces are going to fold under the sticky side, right? And then this piece is going to come over here and fold there with that thin side, and that's under the sticky side, and then that goes like that. Easy peasy. Right? And now you have your little box to put any treats you want. And now what I did is I fold in the sides like that, because I wanted to have this closed with ribbon. Now, if you want to have it like a little purse like that, or a little bag, you can have it like that. Like I said, use the hole puncher first, but this one, what's cool about this is you can still do it and have it punch through the right parts, so it ties everything together. So you fold it like this, right? And then you're going to put your piece just like this, okay? And now we're going over to the Stampin' Boss cut machine. That's the noise you have to make. And when you're putting this through, when you're putting that through, just do that, okay? Can you see that? Just on the top. And then instead of squishing it with your whole thing, what you're going to do is slide your plate forward. And so then when you push this through, it's only going to be on that part of your bag. And of course, it worked great when I did it. And so I'm going to use some tape to hold it there first. Always works great when I try it out. But when I do things on camera, you know, it doesn't, I make it look a lot harder than it is. So we have our piece and we have our thing, and we're just going to tape it like that, okay? We're going to tape it over like that. Yep, just tape it like that. Just tape it there. All right. Then we're going to put that under here, and our piece is going to full hold it down. Okay, you see that? Now we're going to... Now it's raining there, and it's not raining. We don't hear it raining here. And you're just going to put it there, right, till it hits it, and then pull it back. Okay? And then you don't squish your whole project, but you have holes through your entire project. See, holes all the way through. And then you're going to watch your tape. Yep. And this is why I try not to use tape, because it can tear. But I have a solution for that anyway. What's our solution, Robin?
Cover it up with something.
We can cover it up with something, or we can use the jagged edge on it and get that off. But there is the holes that go through and through. Exactly where you want them, both sides. All right. Way to make something more complicated. That's what I tend to do. But you can always, you don't have to put everything through the whole way. You can just put it in a little bit if you need to. I'm going to take that gorgeous ribbon. A gorgeous ribbon. And this is so soft. It's so pretty. It's definitely worth. And I pull some that way. And don't be stingy with your ribbon like I was. And then that way everything lines up. Everything lines up, so you can just pull it right through and then tie it. Obviously, after you put whatever treat you want in there. Right. Like that. And then you have your little one here, and you can cut off your little bow. And now the fun part is to decorate it. Okay, so we have that. And now we're going to decorate it. So I took the little ghost. Look at that little ghost, how cute he is. And I put his face just so I had some black behind him rather than that orange. And I glued him on there. Okay? So just take your glue. Of course, everything is falling. It's kind of comical. Like, when I make these on my desk, everything flies and everything does fine. And then as soon as I go on camera, everything falls over. My dog tears up my furniture. My nephew was building something in the bathroom. I don't know what he was doing.
He was suction cupping that thing to the wall and pulling it off.
And so I did that just so I would have black in there. And then I'm going to go around and cut around the ghost. But like I said, you can use that treat bag for anything, right? So you can use Christmas paper or birthday paper or wedding paper, or make little treats, little favors, you know, Thanksgiving, little treats on the table for Thanksgiving. It's really cute and easy to do, even though I make it look hard. And there's our little ghost. Okay, and so I think I'm going to pop him up with some dimensionals. And so I'm just going to put some on him here. Boo. my husband was hoping I was doing good. Doing better, almost done. And then we're going to watch some, believe it or not, some in-between Christmas Halloween movies tonight. All right, so I'm going to put him there. And even that alone is cute. Isn't that just cute by itself? And then let's get our little boo. Oh, let's make our candy corn. We'll make our candy corn. And so, like I said, the pieces of the candy corn, so you see those. So you do one, whatever color you want in the middle. That's going to be your main color. And then your bottom color. And so I did Daffodil Delight and Pumpkin Pie. And your bottom color is here, right? You're going to glue that to the bottom of your piece of candy corn. Kind of looks like a guitar pick. Right? Or you can even turn it upside down and put a little tail on it, and it could be an acorn. So everyone uses dies and for different things, so be creative. And then we're going to put that on there. Let's see, and now you have your cute little piece of candy corn made. And we're going to tuck him in behind, because my candy corn is a boy. I don't know why I don't have any big ones out, but I don't. And we're going to pull those off. I used just the black dimensionals there. It doesn't really matter on this one. But we're going to have to use on the little boo. I'm going to tuck that behind my ghost a little bit. Like that. Sorry. And then pull that up. And how cute is that? Just to give a friend a little treat. Right? And then I have the boo that is also a die in there. Is that cute? We're going to use the black dimensionals for that. And then just a few embellishments and we are done. And now I don't like the way the the dots are fitting the boo. So I'm going to cut them in half. See how cutting them in half makes them fit better? Let's see if this one's a half cut, if that'll fit in there without showing through. Sometimes you have to cut them small. Oh, there's a small one. Or you don't have to pop them up, one or the other. Okay, so I'm going to peel those off. Someone, if you have trouble knowing on your white dimensionals whether or not the film is peeled off or not, someone actually colors their film when it's like this with like a purple highlighter, and that way they know when the purple's gone that it's the sticky side. So that's a little tip that someone else showed. All right, so how cute is that with the boo? And now just a few of these, my favorite, right? My favorite embellishments. All right, so we're gonna do one here. Make sure they stick good, because I think sometimes I have a tendency not to stick them good, especially when the paper is bending and then they fall off. So I use some black ones there. Isn't that cute? And so now you have this cute little treat bag for Halloween for your friends. Or Christmas. Where you just do the 2 holes before you put it together, which is a little bit easier, but I kind of like the look of this. All right. Any questions for me? Let me know. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you enjoy stamping. I hope you get some craft time. And if you need anything, you can always contact me by email, by phone. And I hope you enjoyed the class. Thanks, Karen. Have a good night, everyone.